This girl accidentally travels 1,000 years into the future, where she discovers a hidden world beyond anything humanity has ever imagined. This sci-fi adventure never slows down for a second, so let's dive right in. Because the mystery waiting ahead is far beyond human understanding. One ordinary day, Casey accidentally touches a strange badge. In the blink of an eye, the world around her disappears, and an entirely different reality comes to life before her eyes. It's as if someone has unlocked a secret doorway to the future. But just as quickly as it appears, she's pulled back to the present. Shocked by what she just witnessed, Casey lets out a scream. The people nearby stare at her in confusion. Trying to hide her panic, she insists she's fine, but deep down, her mind is racing. Things like this only happen in stories, not in real life. Curious, she picks up the badge and touches it again. Instantly, the same futuristic vision appears. Now she's certain it wasn't her imagination. Somehow, she stumbled upon something extraordinary, something powerful enough to change her life forever. Fear quickly turns into curiosity. This time, she grabs the badge with both hands. In an instant, she finds herself looking over endless golden wheat fields, with a massive, gleaming structure rising in the distance. The scene is so vivid that it feels like the future itself is standing right in front of her. She starts walking toward the building, but suddenly crashes into an invisible barrier. The destination is right there, yet the path is completely blocked. Then she realizes what's happening. Her physical body is still in the present. Only her consciousness has crossed into the future. It's as if the system is allowing her to peek inside, but not granting her full access just yet. That's when the mystery becomes even deeper. A boy standing nearby notices her strange behavior and assumes it's some weird way of flirting. He reaches for the badge, but Casey quickly stops him. Some secrets aren't meant for everyone. She carefully wraps the badge in a piece of paper and takes it home. The entire way, one question keeps running through her mind. Why is she the only one who can see this world? Once home, she decides to test her theory by asking her father to touch the badge. But when he does, nothing happens. That's when Casey realizes the truth. The badge didn't choose just anyone. It chose her. She touches it once more and instantly returns to the mysterious future. This time, she feels herself moving forward at incredible speed, as if an unseen system has finally recognized her and is pulling her toward its destination. Her father thinks she's playing some kind of prank. Annoyed, he takes the badge away and keeps it with him. But Casey isn't about to give up. Her curiosity has turned into determination. Late that night, after her father falls asleep, she quietly sneaks into his room and retrieves the badge. The moment her fingers touch it, she's transported back to the golden future. Without wasting a second, she heads straight for the giant structure. But once again, the invisible wall blocks her path. This time, though, she has an idea. She memorizes the building's direction, returns to the real world, hops onto her bicycle, and rides toward the exact location where the structure should be. She refuses to turn back without uncovering the truth. Some mysteries simply won't let you go. Eventually, she reaches an open field with nothing standing in her way. She pulls out the badge one more time, and this time, instead of stopping outside, she materializes inside the mysterious building. The real world was finally revealed. Standing before Casey was a breathtaking futuristic city, packed with technology far beyond anything she'd ever imagined. Trackless trains glided silently through the streets, reusable rockets landed themselves with perfect precision, and gravity-defying swimming pools floated in the air. It was a glimpse of just how far humanity had once dreamed ahead. Casey was completely amazed. She immediately hopped onto one of the futuristic trains, then made her way toward a massive rocket launch pad. She wanted to see everything with her own eyes because opportunities like this don't come twice. Just as she was about to step into the rocket, her legs suddenly started feeling incredibly heavy. At the same time, the countdown on the badge began ticking down. Ignoring the warning, she forced herself forward. But she had run out of time. In an instant, she was pulled back into the real world. The moment she got home, Casey searched the internet, desperate to uncover the truth behind the mysterious badge. That's when she stumbled upon a major clue that unlocked the next piece of the mystery. She discovered that a local general store had been collecting these exact badges. Without wasting a second, Casey rushed there, convinced that the answers she was looking for were finally within reach. The store owner recognized the badge immediately. She explained that it was a pass to Tomorrowland, and only a select few people were capable of using it. Not just anyone could enter that world. That meant Casey wasn't ordinary. But when Casey admitted she had no idea who had given her the badge, the woman's attitude changed instantly. She became suspicious, convinced Casey was hiding something important. The atmosphere turned tense. The store owner suddenly pulled out what looked like a toy gun and pointed it at Casey. At first, Casey thought it was just some weird joke. Then she realized it wasn't. The danger standing in front of her was very real. Suddenly, a metallic sphere crashed through the window. The store owner recognized the threat immediately, but it was already too late. In just a few seconds, everyone in the room could have been dead. Then a young girl smashed through the window, grabbed Casey's attention and shouted, "Get out, right now, the laser blast will kill you." But Casey's hand was frozen on the badge. Time was running out. The mysterious girl grabbed Casey and yanked her outside at the very last second. Together, they fought off the store owner. Despite looking small and harmless, the girl was unbelievably powerful, taking everyone down in moments. Then came another shocking revelation. The store owner wasn't human at all. She was a robot. Casey was stunned. She finally realized this mystery was much bigger than she had ever imagined. The two escaped in a car, and the girl finally revealed that she was the one who had secretly slipped Casey the badge in the first place. Their meeting had never been a coincidence. But the moment Casey learned that the girl's name was Athena, and that she was also a robot, panic took over. She slammed on the brakes, jumped out of the car, and ran. Her trust had been shattered once again. Athena chased after her, but before she could catch up, a speeding car crashed into her. The horrified driver rushed over to check on her, while Casey seized the opportunity and escaped in another vehicle. It looked like Athena was finished, but seconds later, she calmly stood back up as if nothing had happened. Now it was clear. Athena wasn't moving like a human anymore. Watching her sprint after the car through the rearview mirror, Casey's eyes widened in absolute disbelief. Suddenly, the girl slammed onto the hood of Casey's car at full speed. Casey panicked and instinctively stomped on the brakes. The car jolted violently, throwing the girl against the windshield. But before Casey could react, she snapped the ignition key in half and jammed the door lock shut, making escape impossible. Casey was trapped. With nowhere to run, she had no choice but to hear the mysterious girl out. Once Casey realized she wasn't trying to hurt her, she calmed herself and listened. The girl introduced herself as Athena. She revealed that she was a recruiter from the future, sent to find people who still carried hope. According to her, Casey was the very last person chosen. The fate of tomorrow now rested entirely in Casey's hands. Athena explained that the future was on the verge of total destruction. If nothing changed soon, not only would the future disappear, but the present would be wiped out as well. This wasn't some crazy fantasy anymore. It was real. But getting to the future wasn't as simple as jumping through time. First, they had to find a man named Frank. He was the only person who knew how to get there. The two rushed to Frank's house, but he refused to open the door no matter how much they begged. Disappointed, Casey wandered around the property until she noticed several communication receivers installed around the house. Then she spotted an abandoned wreck nearby, and a risky plan popped into her head. A few minutes later, Frank looked outside and saw a burning car rolling straight toward his house. He grabbed a fire extinguisher and rushed outside to stop it. But that was exactly the distraction Casey needed. While Frank was busy putting out the fire, someone quietly slipped inside the house and made their way to a hidden control room. Giant monitors displayed horrifying images of humanity's destruction, and right beside them sat a mysterious countdown machine. Just then, Frank entered through a secret passage. Realizing there was no point hiding the truth anymore, he confessed that the world had only 60 days left before total extinction. According to him, nothing could stop what was coming. But Casey refused to believe that. She looked him in the eye and said, "The future isn't written. We created it." At that exact moment, something impossible happened. The monitor that had been stuck at 100% suddenly dropped to 99%. Frank stood there in complete disbelief. For the first time, hope has actually changed the future. Together with Athena, the three of them headed to Frank's hidden underground base. Inside was a strange device called a travel pod. The moment it powered up, Casey felt dizzy. Seconds later, she opened her eyes and found herself standing in Paris. Their mission to rewrite history had officially begun. Inside the Eiffel Tower, they met 4 brilliant scientists who had secretly maintained contact with the future. One of them flipped a switch, and the entire Eiffel Tower split open down the middle. Rising from beneath it was a massive rocket hidden deep underground. Casey, Athena, and Frank quickly climbed aboard. The rocket blasted through the clouds and soared high above Earth. Once it reached the upper atmosphere, the booster detached, and the capsule rotated backward before diving straight toward the planet. As it accelerated, it smashed through the space-time barrier and finally arrived in the future. But this future wasn't the paradise Casey had imagined. It was silent, empty, completely destroyed. Moments later, several flying vehicles surrounded them and escorted them to David, the governor of this futuristic world. Frank told David that Casey was the one who could save humanity. David then took them to the Time Monitoring Tower, a facility powered by advanced quantum technology that could supposedly observe both the past and the future. Inside, Casey witnessed terrifying visions of war, nuclear explosions, and the collapse of civilization. Confused, she asked, "If you knew this was coming, why didn't you save everyone?" David coldly replied, "Humanity chooses its own destruction. We only save those who are worthy. The rest are left behind." His answer didn't sit right with Casey. Then she noticed something strange. For a split second, the visions on the machine changed. That's when she realized the horrifying truth. The tower wasn't actually predicting the future. It was manipulating people with fear, pushing humanity toward its own destruction. The real enemy had been this machine all along. The three of them confronted David, but he showed no remorse. Frank finally understood that David had orchestrated everything from the beginning. Without hesitation, he attacked him. The final battle had begun. Athena charged straight into an army of robots while Casey hurled an explosive into the battlefield. A massive blast tore through the machines, destroying them all. David was crushed beneath the collapsing structure. The tide had completely turned. But victory came at a terrible price. Athena noticed that Frank had been shot. She immediately stepped in front of him, shielding him from more gunfire. Frank desperately tried to save her, but her robotic core had been critically damaged. There was only one way left to destroy the tower completely. Athena would have to trigger her own self-destruct sequence. With a heavy heart, Frank launched her high into the air. Seconds later, a colossal explosion ripped across the sky. The Time Monitoring Tower was reduced to rubble, and David was erased forever. Humanity had finally been saved. In the end, Casey and Frank made one final decision. The gateway to the future would no longer be reserved for a chosen few. From now on, it would remain open to anyone brave enough to dream and fight for a better tomorrow. And that's where this incredible story comes to an end. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments if you'd like to see part 2. And subscribe to this channel for more.